Mansfield in the morning.
So today I'm going to be looking at how diversity can actually be a strength. So yesterday I went to the crematorium in Lenasia for the funeral of Gavin Singh's father, Norman.
Okay.
And because of the lockdown, there were only a few of us there, but there were some things that I found very moving. In the crematorium itself, you have Christian and Hindu images side by side, no issue from anyone. And among us paying respects were Christian, Hindu and Hare Krishnas. And we stood side by side without any issues. And then there's this beautiful Hindu prayer on the concrete block outside the crematorium, where they do their rites before they take the body in. And there was this prayer that I think could apply to most religions. And it went like this: move from unreal to real, from dark to light, from death to immortality, and then obviously Shanti, 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 peace, 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 which is at the heart of all of our religions. And I want us to look today at moving from unreal to real in terms of prejudice. So prejudice could be defined as preconceived opinion, not based on facts or reason, and it causes harm, if you look up the definition of prejudice. And I want to begin with a slightly strange subject matter to look at prejudice, because I want to make my point, and I'm going to talk about Hardy-Dars.
Go on.
No, we need to talk about Hardy-Dars. They're beautiful.
I don't know, they talk for themselves an awful lot.
And Johnny's parrot sounds like a Hardy-Dar from time to time.
That does.
But the reason I mention them is that someone WhatsApped me yesterday afternoon and said, I've got far more interesting birds than Hardy-Dars in my garden. And I found myself in competition with them. And I said, well, at the church we have paradise flycatchers, Egyptian geese, white-bellied sunbirds. Certain times of the year we have the European bee-eaters. And down the road we have eagle owls, a pair of them that are often on the roof. And then I thought about it and thought, actually, I'm being prejudiced against Hardy-Dars. And I WhatsApped back and I said, what's wrong with Hardy-Dars? In the sun, they're a beautiful color. They're very strange-looking birds. They're interesting if you watch them.
Eat prawns.
And yes, of course, they do us that favor.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we're prejudiced against them. And I also thought then about the impalas in the Krug Park. First time you see them, you're enthralled by them. Eventually, you don't even see them because you just drive past them. So moving from those prejudices to us as human beings, what sort of prejudices do we have against each other? And Jeremy sent me the following, and I think that's why I'm talking about it today. If history tells us one thing, it is that we've managed to deal with disease-causing pathogens significantly better than our entrenched prejudices. And I like that entrenched prejudices because I think they start in childhood. Pandemics don't produce hate, but they do amplify it. And if we are real, as that prayer calls us to be, we will admit that somewhere within all of us there is some form of prejudice. Sometimes we're not aware of it, but we all have prejudice. So why do we have prejudice? For me, it comes out of a few things. First of all, fear of the other, because we don't know.
Yep.
So because they're different from us, we have a fear of it. It could be in terms of finance, and I know the church has been guilty of that, so I'll use the church because I'm in the church. Don't mix with others because we want you to stay in our congregation, in our denomination, in our religion, for your money, actually, to keep the church afloat. And I think we have to be honest. And we also like certainty. We don't want to have to think. I find people don't like it if I can't give them an absolute answer. If I send them away with something to think about. They want me to say, this is how it works. This is how God works. They don't want to have to think. And if you mix with people of other religions, you might have to rethink the fundamentals of your own faith. And then there's also an arrogance. We are somehow better than someone. My way is the right way. I'm somehow superior to you, simply because of some external factor.
Well, we see ourselves as the apex species.
Yeah.
Absolutely, in terms of the world.
Go walk through Kruger and see how apex you feel then.
I've had a few walks in the Kruger, and I've been chased by a rhino once, and I realized I was certainly not the apex.
Exactly.
So prejudice hurts, and it's so unnecessary. For me, the new word I have is unnecessary. My family will tell you, I say, it's so unnecessary. And I think this lockdown's made me realize how unnecessary so much of what we do and say is. We have one life. We share this earth. Under the color of our skins, our blood is all the same. We just look at things differently, and so we need to actually start looking differently and see that diversity enriches, not detracts. And I've seen that in my own church, where we have people from all over Africa. The diversity is huge, and it is so enriching for all of us to learn different things. For example, the Nigerians, I had to do a haircut of a little boy, his first haircut at the altar. I didn't understand the significance, but when I went into it, it was a deep meaning and actually quite beautiful. So we can be enriched by other people. And my personal feeling on religion, and I'm saying my personal feeling, this is not an Anglican view, is that we are all climbing the same mountain. We're just using different paths. So for me, Jesus is the way, and if you believe something else, I will help you to be the best you can in that of what you believe. So people come to me with from other religions for spiritual direction, and I don't try and convert them. Help them to be better at whatever religion they're in. Because we all have the same value. No one is more or less important. And we need to look for the good in the other. What you look for is what you will see. So let's be open to learn. Let's be interested. Let's listen to each other, reach out to others, and try to listen to them with a view to understand and not judge. Life is so much better, richer, colorful, fuller, and our experience of life is much deeper when we do that. So today, maybe just see what prejudices we have in ourselves. See what words we use. Whenever we say things like they always, we know that we have a prejudice. And then set ourselves a task of finding at least one thing about someone who's different from us that we can love and admire and learn from. Yesterday I was definitely in the minority for a number of reasons, and yet I've never felt so at home and loved like that for a very long time. We can do that for others, not from a condescending point of view, shame, look at them, I need to reach out to them, but actually from a point of view of knowing that we are all equal and we can learn so much from each other. May God bless and protect you.
Thank you, Shona. Have a good weekend.
Here it comes. It's Mansfield in the morning. Driven by Sandown Motors, your Mercedes-Benz partner. On